Hi guys, welcome to the part 2 of the video for the Elgato Cam Link Pro. And this is about the software. It's now installed. I've still got my Logitech webcam running as normal, and I've hooked up the Sony A6400 straight to the capture card. So what should we start with first? When you first install it, you go onto Elgato's website and there is a firmware update to install. It takes about a minute. And then once you've done that, if you look on the door of the Porsche, I've put this there so you can see it. This is the utility software from Elgato to use the Cam Link. So if you double click that, what it'll do here, there we go, you should be able to see that if I move that over. Okay, sorry if my voice still sounds dodgy, I'm still all blocked up. Anyway, so that's it. I've got it running at 1080p 60, and if you click on settings, there we go. Now don't really need that to be on, but you can select the microphones. If you've got, say, 4 cameras hooked up and you want to use one particular mic on a camera, then you select the one that you want to use. Or like the HyperX one, I've got it set to, but I've got it muted in Streamlabs anyway. I use Streamlabs to capture the actual mic audio. So general, this is just where you can check for updates. Enable Stream Link Beta, that's a new feature which allows you to, I can't remember what it lets you do. It allows you to do 2 things. Let me just double check. 4K Capture Utility Update 1.1, this is enabled. You can record clean video and audio in 4K while utilising the same video and audio in third-party software such as OBS. So that's not something I personally need, but some people might need that. Device, capture device. This is where you can. I've got it plugged into the third HDMI port on the Cam Link. If you were to select the multi-view, what you have here now, you can select, go to the layout. If you wanted to use 2 cameras, you just do that. I just want to make sure that this isn't obscuring. So you can select which feed to put in which box. So you can have, yep, hey, that's me. There's twice if you want. You can have it split 3 ways or 4 ways. So yeah, just go back to number 3 again. Is there anything else? You can tweak the picture, the brightness, contrast, saturation and hue. I personally don't think it needs it. I quite like how it looks. But don't forget as well, whatever settings you tweak inside the camera is what you will see on the HDMI out anyway. So there's probably a lot more options in the camera for tweaking the picture. So recording, you can record yourself and save it, and then that's the mic again. So that's that. You don't need this running at all. If you do using it like I'm going to be using it, just as a webcam for OBS, you're streaming, you don't need that open at all. I'll show you how's best to show you now. Right, let's do something first. So you're looking at the screen capture as normal. So this is the Logitech. As you can see, it's not brilliant. It just looks like a webcam. It's not bad as far as webcams go, but it still does just look like a webcam. So I'll probably end up using it for something, maybe a pedal camera or something like that. But like if you look at the colours, like I know I am ill, but I look even more ill. I'm trying to alter. Let me just show you something else. If you wanted to alter the picture capture device, so if you wanted to change the pictures, try and add a little bit more colour or saturation, you can click video and then you can drag this across. I'll put that there, and then you've got some controls over brightness, contrast, sharpness, and all that. You can zoom in a little, not much. But the thing with this is that when you make adjustments here, it never saves it. So when you next power on your PC, if you've spent half an hour tweaking it to just how you want, those settings will disappear. I've not found a way to save it at all, so I just let it run default all the time because I found it a little bit annoying. I just realised I'm looking at the wrong camera. We've got the Logitech on at the moment. So that is the Logitech. And so let's compare full screen. Go back to the Logitech. And there we go. Take notice of the colours, like especially like the blue. I mean, the wheel actually looks dirty on this camera, but it does not look like that. So I always use it with gloves and it still looks brand new. And then the blue looks quite pale on the quick release. So if we now change full screen to the Sony, even without any kind of fiddling, it's just, everything's just sharper, smoother, colours are just more vibrant. I mean, if you look at the blue there, it looks absolutely gorgeous, especially with the contrasting gold. So much better, I think, than using a webcam. So as far as tweaking things on this camera, if you double click on the next video capture device, I'll drag this over so you can see. So as soon as you click on it here, if you look straight away, Streamlabs and probably OBS as well recognises that there's 4 HDMI inputs there ready to be used. So you can use your multi-view if you've got that set up. If you want multiple cameras like a pedal cam, overhead cam, just click that and move them to where you want on the screen. So then if you click on configure video, I'll drag that over. It's a slightly bigger screen, slightly bigger pop-up than you get with a webcam. So this is all the information about the firmware version. The Cam Link is recognised straight away. Video colour range limited, I forgot to change that to full. I'll do that shortly. Click on video encoder. I've got this set to NTSC so that we can have 60 FPS and 120 FPS if you want to use that in 1080p. If you use PAL, you only get I think it's 59 FPS, so that's why I'm in NTSC. Click on this, you've got the same 4 adjustments that you have in the Elgato software, but again, I mean, I personally don't think it needs tweaking, but your mileage may vary. And so that is all that. So I've got it set to 1080 at the moment, but if I switch the camera over to 4K, this resolution, it'll then give me the option to drop it down to 1440. So that's what I plan on doing for when I'm racing and streaming. I want to stream at 1440 and also have the camera output also at 1440, because I think 1440 is a nice sweet spot when I'm watching streamers on the TV. 1440 is nice to watch. So does that open up? Yeah, so once you select custom and you've got it set to say 4K, you should be able to tweak this however you like. I will experiment with it. So colour range, don't know if that'll make much difference. Let's have a look at full screen. I mean, if anything, let's change. I'll change that back now. Actually, it looks better selecting limited, I think. Yeah, I keep tweaking stuff. I enjoy doing this. Anyway, let's go back to there. And I think that's most things covered. The other thing, I mean, it's definitely better using an internal capture card, absolutely, because you're not taking up USB space. You've got more data that can transfer through PCIe, and the 4K single capture card. I don't like the idea of having a dongle there and then a cable coming out. I mean, you can probably just plug a small extension in and have the dongle sitting on the floor, but yeah, I mean, I'm using a lot of USB. I've got about 12 or 13 USBs on the back of the motherboard, which is plenty enough for doing all the streaming and racing. But it won't be long before they're full, the rate that I'm adding things. So this is great. And as well, if you wanted to use more than one camera and you're using the dongle, you're going to end up with multiple dongles using multiple USBs. And if they're on a different USB power lane, for the motherboard, if they're all together, you can end up having issues with the motherboard not being able to supply enough power. So yeah, really happy with it. Oh, one thing I did notice, because I've got some M.2 drives, my bottom PCIe seems to be already being taken up by where I've got them installed on the motherboard. So I've moved it up, and it's got instantly get a great signal. So yeah, it was picking up that something was plugged in, but I wasn't getting to see the screen, and that's the only thing that I found, moving it up to one that's not being used for anything. I should have read the motherboard's manual before that to see what the PCIe lanes are used up for, throughout the motherboard. So so I've moved it up. It's only small, so hopefully it won't limit the air going to the graphics card's left side too much. And I think I've covered about everything. So I managed to not have a coughing fit. It's on the verge, but I've managed to. I think I'm starting to get better. So I've got another Elgato unboxing video coming. I might try and get that done today as well while I'm on a bit of a roll up and about. It's for the Steam Deck XL. So I'll do that and I'll compare it. I mean, the box is heavy for that. I mean, it weighs about the same as, I don't know, 3 or 4 regular Steam Decks. That's just a guess. I'll put it on scales actually, and I'll weigh it. So we'll take a look at that, and then I'll take you through a bit of the setup on what you can do with the Steam Deck if you're not already familiar with it. They're amazing devices. Highly recommend you getting one. So yeah, I'll compare that to the regular Steam Deck, and yeah, I'm gonna see if I can try and do a race later. We'll see how it goes, because we got the league on Monday. Got to get stuck in. At least get some practice, if nothing else. Okay, so that's that. I am now going to disconnect the Logitech camera and just leave this here then as my permanent webcam. And then I could just keep disconnecting it to actually do the videos when I'm unboxing stuff, and then just put it back on the rig for... oh, by the way, I've got it mounted on an Elgato small tripod mount. Not tripod mount. Clamp. Universal clamp that bolts to the... I've tightened it down to the aluminium profile next to the ring light, so it's really sturdy. The small one is great. The long one, the minimum height is quite high, so it would have been the camera would have been quite high above the monitor, and I wanted it to be sort of level with where the Logitech one I've been having it sat. So yeah, starting to collect quite a lot of Elgato products. Yeah, quite enjoying it. Okay, right, I'll leave that there. I'll upload it and then I'll go and do the unboxing for the Stream Deck XL. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you shortly. Take care.